always there, as said earlier, of giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things. And ultimately, it takes a great deal of patience and hard work and a sense of resilience. You got to want it.
He should, I always say it this way, prove to me you can't do it. Prove to me you can't do it. And so far, he has not done that.
Because what Kevin Stfansky did is actually par for the course. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear it. I know a lot of fans don't know about it, but I'm going to take y'all inside this locker room.
When the rumors start flying and the critics get loud, sometimes it takes a real leader to step up and speak the truth. And that's exactly what Jalen Hurts did. In the middle of swirling injury claims about Sheudeur Sanders, the Eagles' star quarterback came forward, not to speculate, not to stir the pot, but to show respect. Hurts made it crystal clear. He supports Shedeur, he believes in his hustle, and he's here for the young QB's moment to shine. No talk about injuries, no drama, just pure recognition of a player fighting for his opportunity. This wasn't just about football, it was about respect, mentorship, and standing by another athlete when it matters most.
You got to want it. You got to want it. And so I'm supporting him from where I am and wishing him nothing but the best with his opportunities.
Jalen Hurts went on to explain that Shedeur has worked hard for this opportunity, and he absolutely deserves it. He didn't shy away from praising the young quarterback's dedication, pointing out that moments like these are earned, not given. But then came the subtle twist. Hurts hinted, without saying it outright, that the Browns might not be eager to have Shedeur on the field for the next game. Why? Because the hype around him has exploded after his performance, and some in the organization might be looking to dial it down. It wasn't a direct accusation, but his body language spoke volumes. The pauses, the half-smiles, the knowing look, it all suggested there have been some private conversations between the two quarterbacks. Whatever was said behind closed doors, Hurts's presence in front of the media made one thing clear. He's standing with Shedeur, even if the road ahead is about to get complicated. And he didn't even explain why the two of them spent so much time together after training. It wasn't just a quick handshake and goodbye. They were there for a while, deep in conversation, away from the cameras. You can only imagine the range of topics that might have come up. From game plans to career moves, from personal motivations to the swirling media noise, nothing would have been off the table. And yes, that controversial approach by the Browns, you can bet it was part of the discussion. They were in the cart for long. The debate over whether Shedeur is actually being sidelined isn't just speculation anymore. It's looking almost certain. Just a few days after the matchup, Kevin Stfansky addressed the media, making it clear that he wasn't specifically eyeing Sheudeur Sanders as Cleveland's starter. Instead, he stressed that his focus was on developing every quarterback on the roster. And then, just when it felt like the situation couldn't get any murkier, a new report dropped, claiming that Kevin Stfansky has no plans to use Sheudeur Sanders in the second preseason game. That revelation poured even more fuel on an already blazing fire. After everything Sanders showed on the field, this decision feels less like a coincidence and more like a statement. It's as if the Browns are signaling, loud and clear, that Shedeur isn't part of their immediate plans, at least not in the way fans and analysts expected. Whether this is a calculated strategic move or something far more political, one thing is certain. The mystery around Shedeur's role in Cleveland is only getting deeper, and the questions aren't going away anytime soon. And now, out of nowhere, Shedeur is injured. It's hard not to raise an eyebrow at the timing. Just as the calls to put him on the field were reaching a boiling point, the Browns suddenly seemed to be dialing everything back. With no other clear explanation in sight, the narrative shifted to arm soreness, a condition they insist will be completely fine by tomorrow. But that's exactly what's making people suspicious. Is this truly a minor injury, or is it a convenient excuse to keep Sanders on the sidelines while the noise around him dies down? The whole situation feels a little too well-timed, and for many, it's starting to look less like bad luck and more like calculated decision-making behind closed doors.
Because all I know is that what I keep hearing is what you're telling me what he can't do. Like my coach just said in college, find something that he can do. See, you keep telling me what Shedeur can't do. Well, your job as a coach is to put players in position and find something that they can do.
Wait a minute, but where's the can't coming from when we just saw him do it? I know it's a small sample size, it's 3/4 of football.
And if that wasn't enough, The so-called arm soreness comes at a point when every snap Sanders takes could shift the entire conversation in Cleveland. Fans were ready to see him build on his breakout performance, analysts were already debating his long-term potential, and even players around the league, like Jalen Hurts, were openly backing him. Yet, instead of riding that momentum, the Browns seem to be hitting the brakes. Whether it's about controlling the narrative, protecting certain roster decisions, or avoiding a quarterback controversy, the optics are raising more questions than answers. One thing's for sure, if this really is just an injury, Sanders will be back soon enough. But if it's not, then we might be watching one of the most puzzling quarterback situations in recent memory quietly unfold right in front of us.
And for me, the result doesn't matter, and the opponent, for me, Stephen A., doesn't matter. No. Shefty, it's what does it look like? And he looked like a guy that should be getting opportunity to say, nope, you're actually not good enough. If I were the Browns, he would be getting reps with the starters this week. I felt like going into the game, if he played a certain way, that would be the case. He should getting reps with the starters this week, and he should, I always say it this way, prove to me you can't do it. Prove to me you can't do it. And so far, he has not done that.
The arm soreness claim only deepens the mystery. The timing feels too perfect. Right when the pressure to play Sanders was peaking, suddenly there's an injury that will supposedly be gone by tomorrow. Whether that's genuine bad luck or a tactical move to cool the hype, it's impossible to ignore the way it conveniently stalls his momentum. And then there's Dan Orlovsky's point. If Sanders truly isn't ready, prove it. Show the evidence, because right now, the film shows a young quarterback who's done everything he can to earn a real opportunity. At the heart of this is a bigger question about what the Browns are trying to achieve. Is this about strategy, politics, or simply control over the narrative? Or is it about protecting other quarterbacks from being overshadowed by a rising star? Whatever the reason, the lack of transparency is only fueling speculation and frustration among fans, analysts, and even players across the league.
I'm always there, as I said earlier, of giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things. And ultimately, it takes a great deal of patience and hard work and a sense of resilience. You know, you got to want it.
He should, I always say it this way, prove to me you can't do it. Prove to me you can't do it. And so far, he has not done that.
Because what Kevin Stfansky did is actually par for the course. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear it. I know a lot of fans don't know about it. But I'm going to take y'all inside this locker room.
One thing is certain. If Sheudeur Sanders is given the reins, he has the talent to make the most of it. And if he's not, then the Browns will have to answer for why they're keeping one of their most promising options on the sideline. So what do you think is really happening here? Is this just a smart strategic move by the Browns, or are they intentionally keeping Sheudeur Sanders out of the spotlight to control the narrative? Do you believe the arm soreness story, or does it feel like a convenient excuse to slow his momentum? And most importantly, if you were in Stfansky's position, would you give Sanders the chance to start after the preseason performance he delivered? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.